You do the best you can with what you know at the time. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Interlinked podcast. I am your host, Ray, and you're getting something a little special today because we on episode 20, baby. Like, what? I feel like I'm always shocked. I'm literally always shocked every time I go to record another episode that they just keep getting further and further along. Like, we really started at episode 1 and I have out 20 episodes now. That's insane. Anyways, today, because it's episode 20, I thought I would do something a little different. You're getting video, which I think is always a plus. And also, you're getting a list of 20 things everyone in their 20s should know. I thought this would be cool because obviously it's episode 20 and I'm 20 something. I'm 24 and I feel like most of my listeners are in their 20s. So I thought I would give you just a short and sweet. I say that, but I struggle. I struggle to be short and sweet, but you know that already if you've been here for a while. I'm giving you a short and sweet list of 20 things I wish I knew sooner because I think I've grown so much in this year alone. Like when they say it takes until you're 25 for that prefrontal cortex to develop, they're not lying. They're not lying. Like there's so many things that just clicked for me this year and it just makes so much sense. It makes sense that, you shouldn't make these crazy decisions before 25 because yeah, you might regret them. Although I'm the most impulsive person ever, so whatever. Do what you want. Who cares? But, anyways, let's get into the episode. Okay, this is what we're going to be reading from. So let's start off with number one. Number one, don't be afraid to start over. Okay? Don't be afraid. You never know what's on the other side of starting over. And I literally just started this book called The Artist's Way. And one quote stuck out to me heavy. And it was, take the leap and the net will appear. I think that is just, I think that changed my life. Not to be dramatic, but it truly did. Take the leap and the net will appear. Like, we need to be doing this more often. We need to be having more faith in ourselves and our visions and not being afraid. When you do things and you don't focus on fear, you focus on this could go well, like glass half full shit. That's what you should be doing always because it could go bad, but it also could go good. And when you start over, whether that's with a job, whether that's changing careers, whether that's moving states, whether that's a relationship, when you start over, there's always so much that can happen on the other side. And you never know where life might take you. So don't be afraid of that. If you feel like you're ready, start over. Number two, speak up for yourself and have boundaries. Okay. This could be in relationships, once again. This could be with your job or your boss. Like being able to stand up for yourself and say, hey, this isn't working for me. This is not working. And having a firm, okay, having a firm tone with your voice, that makes all the difference. Like, I'm not okay with the way you're scheduling me, or I'm not okay with the way you're treating me. Those are valuable and powerful statements that you deserve to say. Why suffer in silence? Never do that to yourself. Never try to keep the peace for everybody else because their peace is the only peace you're keeping. Okay? Don't protect their peace, protect your own. This could be with family. This could be, at the doctor's office. I think we think that we're an inconvenience when we have to speak up. But the reality is, you're going to go home upset. Like, if you didn't speak up at the doctor's office, you're going to go home and complain, like, they don't give a fuck. They just shooed me out of the office. And it's like, well, if you had a concern that you knew you needed to vocalize, but you didn't because you're like, they're rushing me. Like, I feel rushed. I'll just go. you paid for that appointment. At the very least, you paid a copay. And depending on your insurance, like that might have just been $30, that might have been 50, who I don't know. So like your voice matters. Whether this is getting a haircut, I have went through the ringer with my hair, okay? Real ones know, close ones know. And I've definitely been the type where it's like, oh, thank you so much. You leave, you tip fat anyway. You get home, you get in the car, you just cry, or you just get so angry because you're like, I'm not even angry at them. I'm angry at myself that I literally walked out with them thinking I was happy with it, because I'm not. Like, speak up. If you want something different, if you think you deserve, a refund, or you need to have another appointment to get it touched up, like whatever it is, put your foot down. Speak up. No one's going to speak up for you. No one's going to come save you. It has to be you, especially in those situations where it's like, you just walk out. Like, what are you gonna do now? You're gonna call and you're gonna like go through this whole thing over the phone. It's just more powerful when you speak up now and you don't ruminate on things, especially when it comes to relationships. Like, the longer you wait, the more resentment you're gonna build for that person, and the more that you're just gonna think, okay, this is where the bar is at. And you never know. Maybe they can fix the situation. Maybe they can fix the way they're treating you, but they just don't know. So speak up. Number 3, be your authentic self and never dim your light. Never dim your light for nobody, okay? This comes with friendships, this comes with relationships. Everywhere you walk into a room, you have a choice. You can put on a mask or you can be yourself. Obviously, time and place for certain things, but when it comes to especially your friends, why are you hanging out with people that you don't feel like yourself around? Like, if you leave that hangout and you don't feel good, or during that hangout you kind of feel like a shell of yourself, probably like shouldn't hang out with those people anymore. There's so many other people that would be honored to have you in their life. And always think about that. Like, you might be upset, you might be sad, you might think this is all I have. There's so many other connections to be made. And the connections you make when you're showing your true self, those are going to be the ones that last a lifetime. So always remember, the day that you wake up and you decide, you know what, I'm sick of pretending, I'm sick of doing this, acting this way just to please other people or just to fit in, that's the day where you're going to realize so many beautiful connections start entering your life, so many beautiful people start entering your life, and you'll just feel so much better. You'll feel stronger, you'll feel more decisive, and you'll just feel like you, which is what everybody should want. You deserve to take up space. Never forget it. Number 4, never silence your curiosities. Okay. I love this because I think one of the keys to life is being more curious. If you're interested in something, don't ever feel like, oh, I'm stupid, or it doesn't really matter. Once again, if you're around people, the right people, they're going to encourage that. They're going to bring that to light. They're going to be like, oh my God, I saw this and I thought of you, because they know you're really into that thing. And maybe they'll even bring you to a place where you can see more of it, or send you a TikTok about that thing you mentioned. Like, always be more curious and invest in that. Don't silence it. I think there's constantly going to be knocks at your door of like, oh, whenever I go outside, I'm really into plants. Okay. If you're into plants, then be into plants. Like, study more on that, learn about it, invest more time in it, go work at a garden, go volunteer somewhere. Like, allow yourself to be curious, and instead of just being like, whatever, explore more. That's where you're going to find the happiness, is when you tap into the things that you're truly passionate about. The most powerful thing is a person who is lit up by their own passion. So never silence that. Go search high and low, far and wide, wherever you need to go to find more, to learn more, to be involved in more, go do it. Go do it. You'll never regret investing in that. Number 5, be okay with letting things go. All right. I just made a TikTok about this, and I think I did a good job of explaining why this is valuable. I've touched on the law of detachment a bunch, but if you don't know, the law of detachment is basically just the concept that nothing that's meant for you will pass you by. Okay? If you're forcing things, if you're trying to fit something together that's just not fitting, you're going to face so much resistance. But when you exist more in flow, you'll realize that things just move slower and they move easier. When you choose not to let things go, it's like having a closet full of clothes you don't wear. Imagine how nice it would be if somebody went to the thrift store and they found the things that you no longer like, you no longer fit in, you no longer wear, you no longer think it's your style, whatever. They go to the thrift store and they find your closet and they're like, "Oh my god, this is the best shirt I've ever fucking seen." Like, I thrift gods bless me. Thrift gods bless me today. And it's literally the things that you were like, "Ugh, why do I keep this around? Like, I just never wear it." But you decided to let it go. And look, somebody picked it up and found beauty in it. Somebody picked it up and thought it was perfect. Like when you hold on to things, it's kind of like disrupting the flow for everybody, because whether that's a place, a job, a relationship, a person, whatever, think about it that way. If you're like, "Oh my god, I'm dating this guy and like things are just not working out. I want them to so bad. Like we have love for each other. I don't want to let this go." And there's certain things in him that you're like, "Bro, I just wish he did this, this and this." But you've tried, you've talked about it, and the things are just not changing. And you kind of realize like maybe we're just not meant for each other, but you continue to stay with him. Some girl or guy out there is waiting for him to show up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be perfect for somebody else. And the longer that you hold tight onto him, the more that like you're missing out on finding your person and he's missing out on finding his. So again, this could apply to a relationship, yes. It could also apply to a career, or like I said, your clothes, your material items. Just be okay with letting go of things. Don't place too much attachment on any one thing. Think about that episode I made if you listened way back on minimalism. And if you need it, go back and listen to that episode. I literally teach y'all how to clean out your closet and all of your stuff in your house or your apartment to be less materialistic and have less junk laying around. But, in that episode, I kind of just focused on the fact that, like, the longer that you hold on to things, the longer they hold on to you. Like your material items and even your relationships, everything that you hold on to, it holds weight. When you're holding on to a relationship that's not meant for you, it's exhausting. Like the entire time you're like holding the weight of trying to fix it. You're holding the weight of trying to fix this job or fix this career or whatever it is, and it holds weight. It feels good to clean out your closet. It also feels good to let go of something that's not meant for you. So think about that when you're holding on to things, because change is scary. We all know this, and letting go feels like the end of the world. It feels like, "Oh, I'm never going to find this again." You will, because ultimately we got to trust our gut. If it's not feeling like it's right for you, you wouldn't need to let it go. So, always remember that. You never know what's on the other side, and it might be time for you to let go of something right now. Number 6, when people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them, okay? I am the queen of seeing the best in people. I'm like, "Oh, this is kind of like a red flag, but like I'll get past it. There's like trauma there, and maybe they're just doing this because this happened in the childhood or whatever it is." That is good. It's good to understand why people are the way that they are, but it's not an excuse as to why you need to stay with them. Okay? When you get into this trap of you see people for who they are and you choose not to believe them, you're constructing your own narrative in your head of who they are. And that's also not fair to them because you might be holding them to a standard that they're actually never going to reach. And you kind of got to meet people where they're at. Like, if they show you this is not somebody that I can be, you need to decide right then and there if that's going to work for you. And if it's not, believe their actions. Like, if somebody makes you feel like, oh, they love me, da da da, over text or whatever, but then you're constantly getting upset because, it doesn't seem like they really want you somewhere, or they show their true colors and they're not dependable and they don't show up for you in the way that you want them to. Again, give some leeway, of course, like have a conversation, express that it upsets you. But if it's a repeated pattern, believe them. They're not changing, and it's not your job to fix them. You are not the fucking saint. You're not the Messiah. You exist in the way that you are, and you're flawed yourself. We all are. But when you decide to ignore people's actions, it's only going to hurt you. It's only going to hurt you. And if it's not meant to be, it won't be. So see how people treat you, recognize it, vocalize it if it makes you upset. And if they don't see an issue with it, there you go. There you have it. That is not somebody that you want in your life. And you don't deserve that. You don't deserve to idolize or to construct this fantasy in your head and then be upset every time it's not fulfilled. It's not fair to them and it's not fair to you. So, someone shows you who they are, believe them. Number 7, people pleasing sets you up for suffering. It's better to be kind than to be nice. Now, let me break this down for you. I think being kind and being nice are two different things. And here's what I think. Being nice is almost superficial to me because when you think of being nice, you think of a people pleaser. Like, oh, she's so nice. Like, she won't care if I do this. And if you notice there, you're already assuming that she won't care that you're about to break this boundary or you're about to do X, Y, and Z because she's nice. Whereas if you're kind, you still have boundaries. You communicate them in a respectful way. You see people, you have empathy, you have sympathy, all the things. You're kind about it, but you're not allowing yourself to be walked over. And I think there's a huge difference there. So strive to be a kind person, not a nice person. Now, this is subjective. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to call somebody nice. Like, I don't want you to be like, oh my God, it's a bad, like, that's something we don't want to be called as nice. Like, that's crazy. No, I just think in my book, I'd rather be kind because being kind, you respect others, you understand others, you look out for others, but you also know they should be looking out for you too. And being nice, I don't know. I've been called a doormat before and I'm not trying to be called it again. So, got burned with that. And I just think it's important to have boundaries. And being a people pleaser, you're literally telling people, I have boundaries, but it's fine if you break them because I'm nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, please yourself first, always. Number 8, you do have time. It's on you to set your priorities. Okay, with this, I think this was a huge one for me because it's like, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to meal prep. Like, you make excuses for yourself, but there's always an easier way. There's always an easier way. If you don't have time to go to the gym, then go for a 10-minute walk. Like, we can make compromises, but what we can't do is just say, oh, I'm going to write that thing off. I'm going to write off meal prepping when, wait a minute, there's a simple way to do this. We can literally throw chicken in a crock pot. We can throw ground beef on the stove ready in 5 minutes. The crock pot could be working the entire time you're at work. Like, there's so much you can do when you think you don't have time. Work smarter, not harder. Like, make your time work for you. The time you spend on your phone, the time you spend watching TV, the time you spend, just wasting time, often surpasses the amount of time that you could be spending doing something productive. Like, oh, I don't have time to journal. How long does journaling take? 5 minutes if you want it to, you know? So you can make time, and that's an excuse that we all use. I use it myself included, but just use your time smarter. Number 9, nothing good happens when you rush. Okay? I think this is a huge one because I've always been the type where it's like, oh my God, I'm running late to work. Like, I gotta rush. And I swear to God, nothing good happens out of that. Wake up earlier, prepare yourself for success, and stop rushing so much. I think even when it comes to like going to an event, if you're rushing, it takes the fun out of it. Like, think about how much fun that you have when you're excited to go somewhere and you're slowly getting ready. You're like, pre-gaming with your friends, or you're blasting music and you guys like all got dinner beforehand and you're just taking things slow. Like, that's the best time to me. Whereas, oh, you scrolled on your phone for too long and now you're like rushing to get in the shower, you're rushing to do your makeup, you hate your makeup, you're like scrubbing it off because you're everything is going wrong because you're in a rush. Nothing good comes from that. Nothing good. And I think we need to be more okay with enjoying the process. Not everything is going to happen immediately. And there's so much beauty in that. Like, you can't rush your body to look in shape. You can't rush a lot of things. Think about how cool it is to look back and be like, oh my God, this is where I started and this is where I am now. You see the growth, you see how much work you put in, you see how much you sweat, you see the progress pictures. Like, why would we rush that? Like, why would we take the easy way out when we can prove to ourselves that you can do it on your own? You can do that. You can do anything you set your mind to. And I think when you rush, nothing good comes out of it. Like, you get the speeding ticket, you hate your makeup, you forget something. It's just bound to result in negative things. So rush less and slow the fuck down. Number 10, romanticizing your life and the small moments is the key to happiness. So, I mean, this is just how I live my life. Every day that I live, I am grateful to be here. I romanticize the hell out of it. And that's why I think I enjoy it so much. There's so much negative shit going on in the world right now. And I am so empathetic to that. I read about it. Like, I'm up to date on all the news and all of these things. And I know that there is suffering. But ultimately, I have to still carry on with a positive mindset, because if I didn't, I would literally lose my mind. Like, there would be nothing productive happening for me. And so I choose to obviously do what I can and support those that I can, but also support myself in the aspect of doing things that I love and literally just walking around and observing. The less time you spend like buried in your phone, the beauty is all around you. You just have to look up. I mean, I am always looking at flagpoles and stuff for like cute little stickers, or I'm looking at people's license plates or the stickers on their car, like their bumper stickers. And I don't know, I'm just constantly like, the signs are everywhere. And oh my God, look at the birds, look at the sunset, look at the clouds, like whatever it is, look at the architecture here, look at her outfit. I'm just an observer, and I romanticize everything because we're blessed to wake up. We are blessed to do the things that we love and do more of that. It's everything that you enjoy. It can happen at a grand scale, moving out or getting your dream job or getting married, having kids, all of those things. But you ultimately realize that none of that matters. It does matter. But like, the true thing that matters is the way that you live every single day. You have those kids now, you have that house now, you have that ring. Okay, well, how do you feel every day? Are you enjoying it? Or are we just like, all right, that's over with. Now I'm miserable again. Like, it's the small moments and it always will be. Number 11, embarrassment is not real. This is one of my favorite ones. Be silly, be bold, be you. The true ones are going to stick around. And like I said earlier, being your authentic self will bring you the people that are meant to be around you, you know? And when it comes to just existing and you're not maybe trying to make connections or whatever, you're just kind of out and about. Oh, that would be embarrassing if I did this. No one's paying attention to you. I gotta say it. Like, unless you literally just strip naked and walk down the street, nobody is really paying attention to you. You are your harshest critic, and everybody else is more worried about how they look than worrying about how you look. So, embarrassment is not real. Do whatever the fuck you want. Who cares? Don't care about what people think. Do it because you enjoy it, or because you love it, or because you think it'd be funny or fun or whatever. It's not real. Life is too short to be a watered down version of yourself. So, go crazy and don't give a fuck. You'll probably never see those people again. Number 12, never apologize for being too sensitive or if something bothers you slash hurts your feelings. Okay, once again, if you choose to speak up, you say your boundaries, and you're met with someone who doesn't understand, doesn't respect you, doesn't know why that matters, or, comes back with, oh, it's not that deep, run away. I'm telling you, like, run away. Somebody that genuinely cares about you will care when you're sad, will care when something upsets you. Like, the response should be, if anything, oh my God, I did not realize, like, that you were upset about that. I didn't realize what I said was harmful to you. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, how can I make sure this doesn't happen again? It's recognizing, maybe they defend a little, like, oh my God, I only said that because this, or I'm so sorry. Like, dude, I had the worst day at work. And if that came off in the way I was speaking to you, like, I apologize. It won't happen again. Like, it's good that you brought it up. Once again, don't silence yourself. Make sure you say something. But, like, if it's met with, I don't get it, like, defensiveness, you're going to be upset every time because it's going to be flipped back on you and you're going to feel worse. So, again, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. If they show you they don't care about you in a moment where you're upset, you're sad, you're crying, whatever it is, they don't care about you. They don't care about you in the way that you care about them, because you would never do them like that. And if you feel like that, just walk away. Just walk away, because the right person, they'll show you what you want to see. They will respond in one of the ways that I just exampled, and you'll feel better, not worse. So, if you express yourself and you feel worse, yeah, it's that person doesn't respect you. And it's a hard pill to swallow, because maybe they show you in a lot of other ways that they do, but this is an important one. Don't ever think that you're too sensitive. You're not too sensitive for the right person. Number 13, your energy is priceless. Okay. I like to think of energy now as a form of currency. Would you give money away to somebody who didn't deserve it? Would you give money to somebody you don't like? Would you give money to somebody that doesn't respect you? Would you give money to somebody that makes you feel like shit about yourself? Think about that. Think about your energy as currency, and I swear to God, it's going to switch a lot of things for you. Like, the way that you move throughout your life, it's going to hold weight, because unfortunately, money means something to all of us and we know its power. Same way you should know your energy has power. Okay. Do not give that shit away for free. And if somebody's draining you and all you're doing is lifting them up, but they're draining you down, how is that fair? You're like, here's $20, here's $30, here's $60, here's $100, here's $1,000. And they're like, oh, okay. Can I have 40 more? Wait, can I have 6 more? Can I have 50 more? And you're like, oh, wait, where's my energy at? Like, they're up here, their bank account is full, your shit's in the negative. Like, Huntington is calling you, like, bro, you're about to get charged a late fee because your account is negative. What are you doing about it? And you're like, oh, yeah, like, things are getting worse for me. I am getting charged a late fee, but it's okay. I have it. So I'll just pay it. And then I'll continue to pay them. What the fuck? No, we're not doing that. Protect the fuck out of your energy. Protect it. People will drain it, people will use it because it's like money. Everybody wants good energy around them. They all want it, but do they have good energy to give you? That's what you need to think about. Number 14, exploration is never a waste. Exploring different cultures, locations, styles, sexuality, careers, all of these things are worth exploring. Okay. That is what your 20s are for. If you're done past your 20s, like you're listening to this and you're 40 or you're 30, whatever, it honestly doesn't matter. There's no age limit on exploration. You could figure things out when you're 60, but at least you figured it out. At any rate, though, we'd rather figure it out sooner than later, rather figure out, oh shit, I kind of like girls before you go get married and have kids, right? Or, oh shit, like I actually been dressing in this way for my entire life. I've always felt uncomfortable. I've always felt out of my body in the way that I dress, but I did it to kind of, fit in or please these people or did it for the male gaze or whatever it is. And then you wake up one day and you're 70 and suddenly you're like, I can't even move my legs to put on the outfit I've been wanting to wear for 50 years, like we'd rather figure this thing out sooner. Or I've always wanted to go to Georgia, like it just seems like the perfect place for me. Something in my chest tells me like Georgia is where you need to live. And then suddenly you wake up and you're 65 and you're like, "Oh my god, it's not in the cards for me anymore." Why wouldn't you just go visit Georgia now? Go explore it. If you don't go to Georgia. Like, go to the places that you want to go to, explore. You'll never regret travel, and I'll tell you that. Everyone talks about it, it's cliche, but you know what? It actually isn't cliche because we talk about it because it's valid. You're feeling stuck, you're feeling sad, you're feeling whatever. You get on a plane, you go somewhere, you come back feeling brand new. Unless, you got food poisoning or got in a fight with your sister the whole trip, like whatever. Obviously, there's bad vacations, but ultimately, there's a point there or when you get back where you're like, "Whew, we needed this." Something and you needed this, and it makes sense for a reason. We as humans are not meant to stay in one place our entire life. Go explore, go absorb other people's cultures, bask in them, learn about them. You are so secluded in your little bubble that you don't think there's any room for you here. Maybe there's not. Maybe there's room for you in Italy. Maybe there's room for you in Greece. Like, go move, go somewhere, explore. At the very least, take a vacation. Do not ever silence that. And it's never too late, but obviously, better now than when you can't anymore. So, especially in your 20s, this is the time. They say, oh, you're getting things figured out. You need to start settling down. Why? Don't follow any timeline that you don't want to follow. Be your own person and do whatever the fuck you want. People look at you crazy in the moment, but when you're happy, when you're, finding everything that you needed to, you're not even going to be thinking about all those people. You're going to be thinking about yourself and how you might have even wished you did it sooner than your 20s. Go explore. Number 15, when your body shows you signs, take them seriously. Your intuition is your superpower, it is your compass. I love this because I wrote a whole poem about this and I always think about it. Like, when you silence your signs, it goes so much deeper than just thinking, like, oh, it's fine, brushing it under the rug. Our society, they force us to be this way. You go to the doctors, they literally hear you say, it feels like something is exploding in my stomach. Like it hurts to breathe. I feel bloated. It's unexplainable. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if I'm allergic to something. Like, this is my experience, mind you. And they'll look at you and tell you, oh, well, have you been sleeping okay? Oh, well, I'll give you this pill. And they send you out. And that's the end of the conversation, And they sometimes will even be like, oh, it might just be your period. Sometimes, things can be, bloating might be happening on your cycle. And yeah, that's normal. That's normal. I know it's unfortunate, but yeah, a lot of women go through this. Yeah. Excuse me? I just said it feels like my stomach is exploding and I can't breathe. And this is just like what women go through. Like, especially as women, I feel like we are taught to silence our signs. We're taught to go to work when we're having the worst cramps of our lives, or, you know, child labor. Like, we just got to go through that, or getting an IUD, like all these things, braving the storm and showing up regardless. And that's just how it is for us. That's how we're supposed to live our life, and this is normal. Even not as women, you're sick and you're taught you should still go to work. Like, don't be a baby, don't call off this hustle culture and all of that. Like, we are forced to ignore our signs. Or maybe, this shit ass healthcare, you can't even afford to go to the doctor. So you're like, yeah, it does feel like my stomach is going to explode, but who wants to pay the medical bill? So you don't go. What? I'm sorry. Don't ever ignore that shit. Like, at the very least, start being in tune with it. Start taking note. Have like detailed notes so that when they do try to push it off, you're like, no, this is the repeated behavior. What specialist are you sending me to? How are we getting to the root of this? And you want to figure it out because you deserve to. So, whether the signs are, this person isn't right for me, or this career isn't right for me, or my friends aren't making me feel good about myself, or anything that you get a gut feeling about, trust it. Your intuition is your compass. Never forget that. As soon as you ignore it, it's like, okay, so she doesn't listen to me. I'll get a little quieter. And you want your intuition to be loud, because when you trust it and you move with it and you recognize, like, ooh, that was good that I trusted that, because here's where I'm at. Your brain takes note of that. You're literally showing yourself, like, what you think and what you feel carries weight. And it doesn't matter if somebody else agrees with you or somebody else approves of it. You just know. You know best. You always do. If you need to, when you have a gut feeling, write it down and look back on it later. See if you were correct. Like, journaling is so powerful in that way, because you'll be having these gut feelings and then it's literally written too. You'll be like, damn, I thought this whole time, da da da. And then you go read an old journal entry and you're like, I've been known that, like, why did I not just listen to myself? But everything in time, change is scary, it's hard, but we resist way too much. Your intuition is your compass. Number 16, pour into yourself first. Learn about yourself, prioritize awareness, reflect on how things make you feel. Put yourself in places where you feel appreciated and practice self care. Okay? This is so key, because for the longest time, I was like, I hate being alone. Like, I grew up with sisters, and, I'm so used to hanging out with them 24/7, down to the point of like, let's go downstairs and eat breakfast. And I'll wait until like they have to shower or whatever it is, because I want to eat breakfast together. And there's nothing wrong with that, because like it is cute and whatever. But when it comes to, genuinely feeling like you rely too heavily on everybody else, that's where it's a problem. Or you feel like, oh, I don't want to do this for me. I am just more like, I give and I give and I give and I pour into other people. Mm-mm. You got to pour into yourself first, because if you have a strong foundation, you'll carry that foundation through every relationship that you have. You'll hold your boundaries better. They'll respect you more. They'll feel more stable, because you're not like latching on for, reassurance, or latching on for comfort, or just their presence with you, like just to have their company. You might focus so much on being in relationships or friendships where you're worried about them and you're considering them all the time, and you're pouring all of this energy and this time and like this care, but where is that for you? Like, you want to spend so much time doing the things that these people love, but are you spending any time doing anything that you love? Pour into you. Number 17, don't stress over what you can't control. A lot of life's challenges are much simpler than they seem. Your reaction is more powerful than the event itself. Okay, love this one. You could have the craziest thing happen to you, like when my car got crashed into, or, you're on your way to work and you spill something, or whatever, or somebody does you dirty. All of these things, ranging from mild to extreme, prompt a reaction. And it's the way that you respond that says everything moving forward. I'm so heavy on not giving too much energy to things that don't matter or to things that you can't control. Like, if the event happens and it's now something where, hey, you can't control that, or hey, that was somebody else's action, you didn't do the action, they did. How are we going to stress so much about something that we didn't do or we can't control? Because again, you can't control other people, you can't control how life unfolds, but what you can do is make sure things move positively from there. So I want to actually take that back. You can control how life unfolds in a certain way, because if you focus on the positive, more positive comes. If you focus on, spilling that thing, or somebody doing you dirty, and you decide to move negatively forward from there, that's when it's like, okay, now you just allowed that situation to ruin your entire day, your entire week, your entire concept of relationships in general. We can't do that. We cannot stress about what we can't control. And so many things are bigger than us. So just know, I do what I can. I can't fix everything. I can't, like for me, for teaching, I can't fix the system. All I could do was make a positive impact on the students that I was working with. That holds weight. Yeah, it's not the amount of weight that I wanted it to be, but if I stressed about everything going on outside of that, I would lose my mind. I would be miserable. And I couldn't do that. I had to focus on the things that I could control. If the copier is down, okay, we just got to be flexible and we got to pivot. We got to pivot. Like, a lot of life is literally just being good at pivoting, because, like, oh, the copier is not working. Like, this whole lesson plan for today, da da da. Okay, pivot. We got to do something else. Maybe we can do that tomorrow when we get paper or when the copier is working again. But what is me freaking out about the copier not working gonna do for me? Ultimately, I'm wasting time. And shout out to teachers, because most flexible people you'll ever meet, like, shit could hit the fan 4 times in a day, 50 times in a day. And half the time you wouldn't even know, because it's a skill to pivot. And we get real good at that being teachers. So just learning that and being okay with things not going your way, it's going to take you so far. It's going to make you so much more at peace. And people recognize that. They see, like, wow, you're able to really stay calm and collected through chaos. I like that in you. That's a good skill to have, whether you're at a job, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're just working at your own mindset. Never lose sight of that. That is something that's going to take you well and beyond other people. Number 18, relaxing is necessary, okay? You are allowed to take breaks. Hustle culture is a scam. Watching a movie is not a waste of time. Rest is not a waste of time. I still struggle with this, but I'm telling you right now, you need to take care of yourself. You need to rest. You need to prioritize sleep. And when you try to work through things, when you're just like burnt the fuck out, it shows. It shows. People recognize it. You recognize it. You know you're not putting out good work. You know you're not doing it from a good place. And again, it feels rushed. We don't want to rush that. Okay. Sometimes it's better to just step away, give yourself a break, and come back. You're allowed to rest. You deserve that. You don't need to be grading while you're watching a movie. Like, just watch the movie? So, this was something it took me a long time to learn, but the world is going to keep spinning. It really will. And no matter how important your job is, or your relationship or all these things, you have to prioritize your rest. You're not going to be your best self if you're not a rested self. Number 19, comparison is the thief of joy. You can't want things only because others have them. I've even done it myself. Things could be going horribly. I feel stressed, whatever, whatever. But then I go and I get a matcha and I post the matcha, and it's like, you don't see what's going on. All you see is like, damn, I want a matcha. Or I could be having the worst fucking mental breakdown. And then you go to the beach and you post the beach, and it's like, ooh, I wish I was at the beach. Like, she's always doing fun stuff. And it's like, little do you know, I'm at the beach because I needed this. Like, I needed to get the fuck out of my space. That's why I'm here. Or, I think back to, what was this? Like February of 22? Yeah, my senior year of college. I was feeling stressed out and we were on Zoom and like so sick of it at this point. And my dad was on a vacation, or no, my dad was on a work trip, okay? He was in Miami and I was like, "Ooh, Miami, like let me get out of town, let me take a break." Well, all everybody else saw was like me in Miami, but in reality, I was still on Zoom by the pool. I was still taking notes on the balcony. Like, I was having a mental breakdown crying because I was so upset that I couldn't enjoy Miami. And all I wanted to do was relax, but I knew I couldn't go there to purely relax. Like, I still was taking all these math classes and shit. Like, we're not relaxing here. We can enjoy the sun, but that doesn't mean we get to fully relax. And that's all anybody else saw, though. Oh, she's at the beach. Like, you don't know the true story. So just remember, comparison is a thief of joy. And if you don't need to look at other people's lives, don't. Like, post on your story and watch your own story 30 times and don't watch anybody else's. I do that all the time. Like, I post, whatever. But if I look at somebody else's, I might just get mad. I might just be like, dang, I had a great day, but they're on a boat. Like, I was only at the pool and they were on a boat. Damn. Like, maybe they got seasick. You never know. So stop comparing to what you see, because the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's green where you water it. And you should always water your own grass first. Before you observe anybody else's lawns, take care of your own. Okay? And don't take care of it just for everybody else to look at it. Take care of it because you want to. All right? Plant the flowers, put up the patio because you want it, not because you're like, oh, Jim is gonna love this. Jim is gonna be jealous. Girl, if you don't, like, do things because you want to and don't care about what anybody else is doing. Oh my God, I said I was gonna hurry up and we're at 50 minutes. Like, I'm so sorry, but these are good tips. I think you're liking this episode. I'm making that assumption. Okay. And finally, drumroll please. 20, number 20. I saved the best for last. And if you know me, you already know this is a major one for me. The limit does not exist. I have it tattooed on my leg, and I stand by this. I live by this. I breathe this. It's everything to me. The limit does not exist. Okay? Your mind, your vision. Let's try this again. Your mind, your visions, your talents, your goals, they can all come true. They can all come true. And the only thing stopping them from coming true is you. Hard pill to swallow. Real hard pill to swallow. Obviously, I hold privileges and, I've been blessed in my life in many ways, but I've also had a lot of traumatic situations and a lot of, things that suck to go through. Okay. Life is not perfect. There's ups and there's downs. And your mindset, it's going to be the difference between you having the life that you want, or it's going to be you wishing you had that life, sitting here in the shadows, looking at it, regretting, and just feeling upset that you didn't go for what you wanted. You didn't believe in yourself. You didn't think you could do it. You didn't think it was possible. It is possible. Everything that you want, it can happen. It will if you want it to. If you speak that shit. If you work on yourself. If you prioritize yourself. If you hold your boundaries. All of that can come true. Anything you want to learn, anything you want to be, you can be it. You can learn it. You're capable. You're so much more capable than you give yourself credit for. And I wish I knew this sooner. It would have taken so much off my back to just know, like, hey, slow down. Everything's going to work out for you because you believe in yourself and you want it to. Like, you don't give yourself credit for the things you've overcome and the things that you still can overcome. You can do hard things. Believe in yourself always. No one's saving you, no one's lifting you up. Maybe you have a couple people that can support you, whatever. But ultimately, your belief in your own self will take you to the top. Just remember, the limit does not exist. The only person you should be in competition with is the version of you that doesn't believe you can do it. Okay? Compete with that person. You're going to have to fight them. You are. You're going to have to fight them. You're going to have to knock them down a few times. They're going to bring you down. You're going to bring that. Like, it's going to be a battle. They're going to win sometimes, but come out on top. Keep working at it. Keep working on your mindset and keep believing in yourself. You're capable. The limit does not exist. Whew, I am sweating. I can't like I tried to keep that short and sweet, but we just knew that wasn't going to happen. We knew it wasn't going to happen. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I feel like there's so many other things and other lessons that I learned that I would just love to tell you all about, but those were the ones that I felt were the most important. And if there's any specific thing that you feel like you need advice on, or you wonder if I've learned something about it that could help you, hit me up, ask me. I have learned a lot. I've went through a lot, and I like to think that I came through on top. You know, despite it all, we're still working on ourselves. We're still striving to be better, and we're constantly learning, we're constantly growing. And I'll end with what I started with. You do what you can with what you know now. These are some of the things that I know now, but obviously I didn't then. Okay. Whether the then was in the past year or in the past few years or, whatever. It was something that I had to learn and I had to grow through. Okay. So just know everything is a learning experience. That toxic relationship, that job, that friend group, that career, that loss, everything that we go through in this life gives us an opportunity to learn something from it. And I really hope that you think of life in that way because it's never going to go perfectly. If it did, how would I have learned all of these things? How would I have gotten stronger? How would I have stopped people pleasing if people didn't do me dirty? How would I have stopped stressing over what I can't control if I didn't realize, like, bigger picture? You have to realize these things. You're not born with them. You don't learn them in school. They come through your experiences. So take everything that you go through and just think, reflect, ask yourself, how did this make me feel? How am I going to grow from this? And what can I take with me? What can I improve on? How can I be better? What am I looking for? What would I want to happen next time? You know, like, don't just think, oh, I'm upset about this thing and that's it. That's my life. No, you have to reflect. You have to think about it and you have to recognize maybe you're in the wrong. Maybe they're in the wrong. Maybe this whole thing is wrong for you. But either way, it's wrong. Either way, you're unhappy. Either way, you're dissatisfied. Figure out why and come out on top, whatever that looks like. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I can't believe we made it to episode 20. I am really proud of myself for getting here and continuing to show up for you guys and for myself and continuing to learn because this podcast has given me so much to reflect on and so much to grow through. So, 20 things is nothing in comparison to the amount of things that I wish I could share with you. But again, I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you. And if there's anything you're struggling with, just let me know and we can talk about it. But thank you guys again, and I will see you next week. Bye.